on McClellan.
Yeah, can I?
You want to hold on it?
Just for a minute, yeah.
Okay. And what about, well, while it's not here?
Is there anything over there?
Hmm?
Wait.
He has a felony? Yeah, he's in custody.
Yeah. He's here. Hold on.
Okay.
We don't check. Finally, it's here. I was about here. Can you put it right here? Yes, ma'am.
Might have to, maybe have to talk to him in the conference because, we're gonna be having cases right here. You know, yeah.
I'm trying to mark the box.
Oh,
He just needs to sign.
yeah.
Okay, well, come on. I'll see it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is cause number M327006, case of Styles, State of Texas versus Kayla Diane Baden. Ms. Baden, would you please come forward? Need a prosecutor. Ms. Baden, you gotta leave your purse.
You can give her right here. Thank you.
This is cause number M327006, case of Styles, State of Texas versus Kayla Diane Baden. Ms. Baden, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. Baden? That's good. Ms. Baden, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Joel Vasquez. Attorney Vasquez, how are you doing?
Good, John. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. The state is representing this case by Attorney Sheriff Staub. Attorney Staub, how you doing?
Good.
Okay. Mr. Vasquez, what is your announcement in Ms. Baden's case?
Your Honor, could we reset Ms. Baden's case 30 days for a plea?
Complete?
Yes.
Okay. Give us a reset date.
Number 8.
Okay, this case is reset, will be reset until December 8th, 2023 for a plea. Ms. Baden, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. And you still gotta have that one more.
Thank you.
You are. All right, stand, get your reset. Mr. Macy,
Thank you.
you are. Okay. Robert McClellan. Court is in session in two cases. Cause number 23 CCCR 0526. And cause number 23 CCCR 0527. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Robert McClellan. Mr. McClellan, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. McClellan?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. McClellan, you're representing your case by your attorney, John Macy. Attorney Macy, how are you doing? You're welcome. Now, Mr. Macy, what is your announcements in Mr. McClellan's cases?
Your Honor, I'd ask for one reset. I'm still negotiating. The state,
With the state? So how much time do you need?
just a regular, a month.
Okay, 30-day, standard 30-day reset?
Yes.
You have any objections, State?
No objection.
Okay, give us a reset date.
December.
Okay, Mr. McClellan, this case is gonna be reset to December 8th of 2023. Give your attorney a little bit more time to negotiate with the prosecutors in your case. Now, Ms. McClellan, your attorney is gonna get your reset. Once you get your resets from your attorney, you are free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. You too.
You're welcome. Okay, now, Mr.
December 8th.
Yes.
On Matthew Wiley, what are we doing on that? He's in custody.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd ask that the case be.
Is he here?
Yes.
Why don't you bring him out? Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session in 3 cases. Cause number 23 CCCR 1881, cause number 23 CCCR 1884. And cause number M320936. All 3 cases are styled the state of Texas versus Matthew Joseph Wiley. Mr. Wiley, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Wiley? Are you hanging in there? Okay, now, Mr. Wiley, you're represented in your case by your cases rather by your attorney, Mr. Macy. Mr. Macy, what are your announcements in Mr. Wiley's case?
Well, it was reset for today because he had 2 charges. I'm a little confused on the numbers you gave me. I mean, you just announced because I have 2318886
What?
and 1888.
I don't have either of those numbers.
I don't either. But,
I don't know. That's
oh,
why I
just hold on a minute. We'll have our, no,
Oh, that's the DA number. You don't have, this is not the number that court calls. This is our inner number. This is for our office.
I see. Okay.
That's why.
I don't
the
know
number
why
is-
they don't put the real case number on these, but anyway, okay. I'm sorry, Judge.
oh, okay.
So I don't know which case is what case number. There's a possession of a dangerous drug.
Okay, let's see. Possession of dangerous drug. Well, yes,
Is 23CCCR 1881.
yes.
Okay, and so the other one is 1884.
Yes.
That's the possession of a controlled substance penalty group 2A.
Okay. I'm
Synthetic.
sorry.
And then the
I was
possession of
confused.
marijuana is the M320936.
Yes, I had that. Anyway, I'm sorry for the confusion on my part. Anyway, as far as the announcement was concerned, my understanding is that he has pending felony charge, either has a pending felony charge or he's fixing to have a pending felony charge.
It's been received to our office, Your Honor. We're waiting for it to be indicted, but they are out of, I think, the same incident as his misdemeanors.
Oh, same
And-
criminal episodes. Okay.
And so what I would ask to have this reset in, because I don't want to do something in my misdemeanor cases that may affect his cases in a felony charge.
Okay. Give us a reset.
January 24th.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Wiley, your cases will be reset to January 24th, 2024. To give your attorney an opportunity to see whether or not your felony case or cases will be filed or indicted. Okay? And so if they are indicted, and then that'll give your attorney an opportunity to resolve these cases. And if you have a different felony attorney, they may work together. Okay? All right, Mr. Wiley, follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. May be excused.
Yes, you may be excused.
I'm good with
It
that.
should reset with the,
Okay.
And we need Terry Goodman.
Yeah, you can go over here. Over here. Yeah.
Yes. Do you need to have that door open? You can you can stand in the door if you need to. You could put the stand on. No, yeah, but you have somebody back there, right? Yeah. Jefferson County Court, Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 333-820. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Terry Goodman. Mr. Goodman, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Goodman, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Goodman, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Goodman, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Goodman?
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Goodman, you're represented in your case by attorney Christy Coffin. Attorney Carlton, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
That's good. Now, state is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hillble. Attorney Hillble, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
That's good. Now, Mr. Goodman, I have well, Mr. Carlton, do you waive a record in Mr. Goodman's case?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodman, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on or about September 25th, 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing in a habitation. It's a Class A misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing in a habitation. Mr. Goodman, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Goodman, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest? No contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Goodman, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Goodman, do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there is a, let me do this here. It's criminal trespassing and then habitation. Just write the word habitation on here, because just regular criminal trespassing is a Class B misdemeanor. Trespassing and habitation is Class A, okay? So I just wrote that right here. All right, now, this is a Class A misdemeanor. Range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor is a fine that does not exceed $4,000, confinement in the county jail that does not exceed 365 days, or you could be given both such fine and confinement. Do you understand the range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor, which is this offense? That's just the range of punishment. Your punishment has to fall with anywhere within that range. Okay. Now, on page, okay, you entered a plea of no contest, but on page 2 of this document, you check the box saying guilty.
Yeah, when I say guilty, then.
Okay, so you want to enter a plea, your plea is guilty?
Yeah.
Now, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
And no one is forcing you to enter this plea of guilty. You enter this plea freely and voluntarily. Is that correct? Now, on page 2 of State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, I have before me a document that is titled this misdemeanor plea admonishment. On page 2, there's a set of initials TG on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, yeah.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. And do you recognize this document?
Yes, yeah.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Goodman, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Ms. Carlton, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that you went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Goodman, are you a citizen of the United States? Yeah, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me States 1. State, would you like to offer States Exhibit 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Ms.
No, Your
Carlton?
Honor.
No objection states exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Carlton, you've advised and counseled Mr. Goodman. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Goodman, your attorney, Ms. Carlton, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation? Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Ms. Goodman, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is to the state's offer, a plea to the state's offer of 13 days jail, 13 days credit. It's a time served plea. Court could also be tax retired in this case.
Okay. Mr. Goodman, the state is offering that you serve 13 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you've already served 13 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, your 13 days will be credited toward your sentence, which means you'll be given credit for time served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That means that because you've spent enough time in jail, your court costs have been paid off by the time that you have spent in jail. So therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Goodman, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Goodman, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into to say now, Mr. Goodman, if there is not anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Okay. Now, Mr. Goodman, you're going to stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you can follow the bill if you have a blessed day. And Ms. Carlton, you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you.
All right. You're free to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your right down and stop. Now that you're going to go to the back. I'll get your paperwork and go to the job showing.
Okay, just follow the bill.
Your Honor, this is, Mr. Richard Moe. Was talking, this is the BWI case.
Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, this is cause number M332563. Okay, this is style of state of Texas versus Richard Joseph Moe. Mr. Moe, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Moe?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Moe. You're representing your case by your attorney, Willard Hall. Attorney Hall, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Hall, what is your announcement in Mr. Moe's case?
Okay. We'd asked for a 30-day reset. I've spoken to the prosecutor. She's going to look at the case. I had been talking to Mr. Hoffman about trying to settle it. It's a BWI. He's got a CDL license. And it's not a terribly high breath test case, but he can't get deferred because he's got a CDL license. We have been offered deferred in the past.
Okay.
But we're going to try to work on it. And if we can't settle it after 30 days, we'll just have to put it on.
Okay, so we're just gonna give us a reset, keep it on announcement,
Yes. And it had been next door and then it got shipped back.
transfer it over here.
And I was mistaken. I thought that the reason why it was shipped over here was because your daughter had signed a warrant, but that's not correct. It was Judge Addams who signed the warrant. So,
Oh,
but we're going to have a pretty big trial over it.
okay.
So,
Give us a December 8th.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Modis, January 19th? Okay, this case is gonna be reset January 19th, 2024. Mr. Mo, your attorney is gonna get you reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And Mr. Hall, once you get your reset, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome. Please. That's there, right there. Okay. There's page 2. Oh, it's a D, okay. DWI first. Next case is cause number M332739. Case is style of state of Texas versus Aaron Tyrone Carmen. Mr. Carmen? Mr. Carmen, your full name is Aaron Tyrone Carmen.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carmen, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Carmen, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carmen, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Carmen? That's good. Mr. Carmen, you representing your case is by attorney Ben Flory
My name is Skylar Parks, Your Honor. I'm here covering for my colleague, Dennis Porter.
and Skylar Parks.
Yes, Your Honor. But Mr. Carmen has had extensive conversations with Ben Fuller as recently as yesterday about the nature of the plea agreement.
Now, Mr. Flory, do you, now you're representing your case by your, well, Mr. Carmen, you're representing your case by your attorney, Ben Flory, but attorney Flory is not here. However, standing in for attorney Flory is attorney Skylar Parks. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does Mr. Parks or Attorney Parks have your permission to stand in for your attorney, Ben Flory?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Harmon, did I swear you in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Parks, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. And Mr. Carmen, how are you doing? That's good. Now, Mr. Carmen, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. Now, Mr. Parks, do you waive a record in Mr. Carmen's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Carmen, in this information that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, it alleges that you, Aaron Tyrone Carmen, on or about May 14th of 2022, while you're operating a vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, now state, are you abandoning the enhancement paragraph in this information?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Parks, the state is Mr. Carmen, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph. What that basically means is you're currently charged with a Class A misdemeanor, but because the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, you will not be charged with a Class A misdemeanor. You'll be charged with a Class B misdemeanor DWI.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? It's a lesser offense.
Yes, sir.
Now, to this class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about May 14 of 2022, while you operated a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas. How do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest? Guilty. Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes,
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
yes,
Okay. Now, Mr. Carmen, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this document?
yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature. Well, he put his initials, put his signature. Let me get this back. He's supposed to put his signature there.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can use that pen stylus. The back of the stylus is an eraser.
You'll just erase it.
Yeah, he can just take the back of the, just pull it out of that. Back of it acts as an eraser.
If that's the one that erases.
That's the one that erases.
Okay, cool.
Just erase it like you had a pencil.
You got it. And then you can just write your full name.
Okay. Now, Mr. Carmen, on page 2 of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? On the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Oh, you need to sign this one. He put his initials on that.
Yes, Your Honor. You could just put your full name.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Farmer, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carmen, before you signed and initialed all these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Parks, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carmen, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 in evidence?
Yes, sir.
Any objections, Mr. Parks?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Parks, he's advised and counsel. Mr. Carmen, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Carmen, Mr. Parks has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carmen, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is a plea to the state's offer of 180 days probated over 15 months, $1,000 fine, 60 hours community service, interlock device, and DWI for standard conditions of probation.
Okay.
And that is a plea to the lesser included DWI first.
What, let me see, what is the court cost? 342? Okay. Mr. Carmen, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000. You'll be required to pay a court cost of $342. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month. You'll be required to pay your analysis fee of $15 each month and a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County for the, as I mentioned earlier, the $15 reimbursement fee. You'll be required to pay the DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $177 a month. Will you be able to pay the $177 each
Yes,
month?
sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll be required to attend and complete the DW education class. You'll be required to have an alcohol assessment, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Now, Mr. Corman, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carmen, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Carmen, you're gonna stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Attorney Parks, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You are.
Days, we have one more thing outside of the office I need to take care of.
Yeah, you can put your purse up there, Ms. Broussard.
But it'll get resolved at its very next setting.
Okay. Okay, this is cause number M332972, case of style state of Texas versus Ebony Broussard. That's your full name, Ms. Broussard?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Broussard? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Broussard. You're representing the case by your attorney, Jason Nix. And Attorney Nix, you're announcing that you need a 30-day reset. Is that
Yes.
correct?
That's correct, Judge.
To get the case settled?
Yes, sir.
Okay, State, you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're gonna have our court coordinator to reset your case. Once your case get reset, your attorney's gonna give you reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go,
Okay.
and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
And you have a blessed day as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. Okay. You need, Andrew Lakey. Court is in session and calls numbers M 332-598 and calls number M 332-600. Both cases in style of the state of Texas versus Andrew Lakey. Mr. Lakey, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Lakey? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Lakey, you're representing your cases by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Matuska, who is appearing via Zoom. Attorney Matuska, how are you doing?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in Mr. Lakey's cases?
Your Honor, may we have this case placed on the trial docket?
Trial, give us a reset date. January 8th, 2024 is the date that your cases will be reset for trial. Mr. Lakey, you will be given a copy of the reset here in court. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. Make sure you stay in contact with your bondsman and your attorney. And you have a blessed day. Please stand in front of our court coordinator. And Mr. Matuska, your resets will be sent to you. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You also, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Yes, you could put it up there. Ms. Clifford, how are you doing? That's good. Now, Ms. Clifford, you're representing your case by your attorney, William Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson is sick. He's unable to be here today. So therefore, your case will be reset. You're gonna get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset from the court coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alexa Rainey. Miss Rainey, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Miss Rainey, you're also represented by Attorney William Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson is sick. We got a message this morning that he was sick and was unable to be here. So your case will be reset. You can get in line behind Ms. Clifford, get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. Kanye Anthony Warner Velasco. Would you please, yeah, Kane, would you please come forward? Now, Mr. Velasco, you're also represented in this case by your attorney, William Wilkerson.
Yes, sir.
Attorney Wilkerson is sick, he's unable to be here today. So therefore, your case is going to be reset. Please get in line.
Oh, Your Honor, I was told it was gonna get dismissed last part of the plea deal.
I have no idea about that. Yeah, You have two cases, okay.
Yes.
Is that October 6th, I mean, September 6th, 15th? 15. Was it 15? Okay. Court is in session and cause numbers 23 CCCR 0488 and cause number 23 CCCR 0489. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Raymond Charles Garcia. Mr. Garcia, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Garcia, do you swear firmly to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Garcia, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Garcia?
Fine, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. Garcia, I see here that you appeared in court on September 15, the last time you appeared in court was September 15 of 2023. On that date, you signed a waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And now your case was reset today.
Yes, sir.
And what is your announcement? So you want to enter a plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we'll do is give you an opportunity to talk to one of the prosecutors about your case.
Yeah.
Wait, but he's already gotten an offer from us, Your Honor. I'll just fill out the paperwork.
Oh,
and
okay.
have him sign it. It'll just be a minute.
Okay, all right. Just have a seat. Y'all can come on up, Mr. Hernandez. Who's the prosecutor?
She's gonna bring our paperwork right now.
Yeah.
Okay. There's that, let me see, yeah, he has on him, has one case.
I don't.
Jefferson County Code at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 23 CCCR 1952. Case of South State of Texas versus Fabian Alberto Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez speaks Spanish. We have our Spanish interpreter, Ms. Jennifer Araji. Mr. Araji, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Araji, do you swear to interpret Spanish to English and English to Spanish to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Raji, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Raji?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Raji, ask Mr. Fabian Alberto Hernandez if his name is Fabian Alberto Hernandez. Okay. Ask Mr. Hernandez how he's doing.
¿Cómo está?
Okay. You could ask him to raise his right hand. Mr. Hernandez, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez, you may put your hand down. Mr. Hernandez is represented in his case by his attorney, Attorney Joel Vasquez. Attorney Vasquez, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Attorney Vasquez, do you waive a record in Mr. Hernandez's case?
Yes, sure.
Okay. And the state again is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Huber. Attorney Huber, how are you doing?
Doing well, Rich, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Hernandez, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet alleges that you, Fabian Alberto Hernandez, on or about August 14th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest?
De ese caso, cuando dice que eres culpable, no culpable o no contesto. No contest.
No contest. Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Que usted está diciendo, no contesto, usted solamente. Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Hernandez, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments which is State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
¿Recuerdas ese documento que te explico yo, verdad? Yes.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials, FALH, on the line next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
En el documento le pusiste tus iniciales?
Sí.
Yes.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Ese es su-
Sí.
Yes.
On the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
¿Recuerdas ese documento?
Sí.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled defendant?
¿Y también es su firma completo?
Sí.
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Antes que firmar esa página, explicaron que esa hoja también es lo que usted no se puede apelar a tu caso. ¿Sí entiendes?
Sí.
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
El segundo camino, porque usted no se puede apelar a tu caso. ¿Sí entiendes? Yes.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
¿Recuerdas ese documento que está? Está explicando que el abogado se le ha pedido si tú puedes.
Sí.
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Ese es su firma completa. Yes.
I also have another document that is titled for all English nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. Do you recognize this document?
Sí. Yes.
There's the word that's circled, the word is no, and is below a sentence that reads, do you want us to notify your consular officers at this time? And it's circled no. Did you circle this word?
Sí. No.
Okay.
Sí.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Ese es su firma completa.
Sí.
Okay.
Yes.
And Mr. Raji, who witnessed it?
I did.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, also going back to State's Exhibit number 1, there's a paragraph here on State's Exhibit number 1 that's titled Citizenship. And I'm going to go. Okay. And I'm going to go over this paragraph, which is states, if you are not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty or nolo contendere may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand that statement? Okay, I need to have him the initial about a paragraph. Okay. Now, Mr. Vasquez, pursuant to the case of Padilla versus Kentucky, did you advise Mr. Hernandez consequences of entering a plea of guilty
Yes, sure.
or no contest?
Yes, sure.
Okay. by him not being a United States citizen.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney and did your interpreter go over these documents with you in Spanish?
Antes de firmar todo eso, ¿sí te expliqué todo en español?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you understand everything that the interpreter went over?
¿Entendiste todo antes de firmar? Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Todo en ese documento. Yes.
And just for the record, he is a citizen of Mexico, is that correct?
¿Eres una ciudadana? Yes.
Okay. State, I have before me States Exhibit 1. State you like to offer States 1 in evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any
No
objections?
No objection.
No objection, States Exhibit 1 is admitted. Mr. Vasquez, you advised and counsel Mr. Hernandez. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hernandez, your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided competent legal representation?
¿Todo fue suficiente? Yes.
Mr. Hernandez, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreements to waive the state's offer of 22 days time served. Court costs will be taxed entirely in this case.
Mr. Hernandez, the state is offering that you serve 22 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 22 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you've already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. And that means that you will not have to pay the court costs because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Now, Mr. Hernandez, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez, and do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have made with the state. If you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you'll be getting out of jail today. You're gonna stand next to your attorney and follow the directions of the clerk. Once you're finished following the directions of the clerk, you can follow the bailiff.
Dice que necesitan todo y si no tienen la comunidad que se debe que tengan un día y no
And you have a blessed day. You have a blessed day as well, Mr. Vasquez.
Thank you, Judge. You too.
And you have a blessed day as well, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thank you. We have any? I'm going to ask you that when we get started. Okay, this is cause numbers 23CCCR 0488 and cause number 23CCCR 0489. Both cases are styled of state of Texas versus Raymond Charles Garcia. Mr. Garcia, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Garcia, do you swear affirm and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Mr. Garcia, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Garcia? You fine? That's good. Now, Mr. Garcia, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet in cause number 23CCCR 0488. In this document, it alleges that you, Raymond Charles Garcia, on or about December 29th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Garcia, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Garcia, how do you plead guilty? Not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Well, before I go any further, Mr. Garcia, you have a right to have a record of this proceeding. You waive or give up the right to have a court reporter to dictate their record. All right. Now, Mr. Garcia, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment States Exhibit 1. You recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of this same document, there are two sets of initials. First set of initials is on a line next to the box that's checked nola contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On the next document, or the next section, or the next set of initials is below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Admonishment. And the initials are on a line next to a statement that reads as follows. I do not request discovery of the evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in this case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Did you place your initials or here on this document? All right. On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line. It's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document, it's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature down here?
Yes, sir.
Above the line that's titled defendant. At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? You have a discovery certification. Oh, that's right, you don't need one. Now, Mr. Garcia, before you sign any initial, all of these documents that I just showed you, did you go over these documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, are you a citizen of the United States?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're not? Okay.
I'm a permanent resident.
Okay. I need to give you your document and you have to sign. And what country are you from?
No,
Malise?
yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Mandatory notification. Mr. Garcia, I have a document that is titled for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. You say you're from Elise, right? And that's not a mandatory notification country. And this document states as follows: as a non-US citizen who is being arrested or detained, you may request that we notify your country's consular officers here in the United States of your situation. You may also communicate with your consular officers. A consular officer may be able to will be able to help you obtain legal representation and may contact your family and visit you in detention, among other things. If you want us to notify your consular officers, you can request this notification now or at any time in the future. You want us to notify your consular officers at this time. And then at the bottom of that paragraph, it says yes or no to that statement. And then you can sign here, you print signature and print. Okay, then you're gonna have someone to witness it.
Do you usually have as the witness, Your Honor?
I guess anybody could witness. Now, Mr. Garcia, before you signed this document, did you understand everything that was in this document? Did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
You understand that everything in this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to go back to State's Exhibit number 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishment That's the document that have your initials on page 2 in those 2 locations and your signature on page 3. And at the bottom of the first page, in State's Exhibit 1, the misdemeanor pay admonishment, there is a paragraph that is titled Citizenship. And this paragraph reads as follows. If you are not a citizen, if you are not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty or nolo contendere, which is no contest, may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, do you still want to go forward with your plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could we have, I'm gonna have you to put your initials next to this paragraph that's titled Citizenship, showing that you understand everything in that paragraph. Okay. Now, Mr. Garcia, is there any evidence that you may be currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. It's for 1 year deferred probation. We are waiving the fine. There is 40 hours of community service, and then there's a restitution of $3,282.02 to the tool rental company. And because of this plea, we are dismissing 23 CCCR 0489.
I was on 17.
Double check.
What's the court cost?
Mr. Garcia is 277, so.
277.
yes, sir.
There's no additional fees, is there? Let's see.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I've made a mistake on the restitution payment. It should be $1,684.
Oh. What is it?
$1,600.
$1,684.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 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 Mr. Garcia, the state is offering in cause number 23 CCCR 0488 that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation During the 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs for $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15, and you will be required to pay restitution in the amount of $1,684 to the tool rental company. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $370 a month. Will you be able to pay the $370 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, and you will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation, and the state will be dismissing the companion case, cause number 23-CCCR-0489. Now, Mr. Garcia, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Garcia, this will conclude your case. If you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Garcia, as I mentioned earlier, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement. You're going to stand in front of our court clerk, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
State changed their knock on the CPA.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll change it on the next.
okay,
And then once you do that, if you don't mind signing it, that's all.
yes. Next case is cause number M333-402. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Jarvis Wayne Ordwine III. Mr. Ordwine, would you please come forward? Mr. Ordwine, your full name is Jarvis Wayne Ordwine III. How you doing, Mr. Ordwine?
Good.
That's good. Mr. Ordwine, you're represented in your case by your attorney James Paget, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Ordwine's case?
Your Honor, I had every intention of being there in person this morning. I had an unforeseen personal emergency. However, if you could give me 3 to 4 weeks on the case, I've received all the discovery, and I will relay it with my client, and we can dispose of the case in person on the next day.
Give us a short reset. Okay, hold on a minute.
Yes, Your Honor.
December 8th.
You can't put it up any further closer than that. December the 8th. That's 5 weeks.
Does he want to keep it on a Friday?
You want to keep it on the front?
Should we do it on a Wednesday or a Monday or a Wednesday? Preferably a Wednesday.
November 29th?
Okay, case is reset to November 29th. Mr. Paget, your reset will be sent to you. And Mr. Ordwine, you're going to get your reset here in court. Once you get your reset here in court, you'll be free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman, and you have a blessed day. Please just have a seat in that third chair, but on the wall. And Mr. Paget, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well.
Thank you.
Anthony Smith for fraud thought LeBlanc was his attorney. He told us, but LeBlanc's not here.
Did we didn't call this case, did we?
You did, Your Honor.
Or did I do a bond forfeiture?
You have not, Your Honor.
No,
Oh,
I don't know if LeBlanc came before you.
he came, I mean, he was here, but I mean, he might have, yeah, we didn't call this case.
When you walked across the way, so I don't know what he was doing over there.
Might wanna see if we can give him a call. Let's see, I have Mr. Boudreaux. I thought I signed Garcia. Oh, I did. Okay. Do we have any Mr. Boudreaux's cases?
They showing me this last case.
Yeah. You could bring him out. I don't, oh, she's gonna have to send that one back to me.
It's over here down.
Is that Rodriguez?
Map right there.
Could you send Rodriguez back to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
And we're just waiting on the missile.
Wait up.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
What's his name?
Deshaun Rodriguez.
Okay, that's the one that's Mr.
Wilkerson.
Okay. He has two cases. Okay, Mr. Boudreaux. Okay,
The discovery.
94 is a plea. I'm gonna read that to him at the end. Let's read. That's Mr. Rodriguez. Let's see, he's pleading on 41. This is one who's coming to. What is the name? Let's see. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number 23 CCCR 1194, case of style of state of Texas versus Deshaun Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Rodriguez, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Rodriguez?
I'm doing good. How about you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Rodriguez. You're representing your case or your cases by your attorney Don Boudreaux. Attorney Boudreaux, how you doing?
It's fine, sir.
That's good. Mr. Boudreaux, do you waive a record in Mr. Rodriguez cases?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, in cause number 23 CCCR 1194, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Deshaun Rodriguez, on or about June 17 of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A offense of assault, bodily injury. Mr. Rodriguez, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Rodriguez, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No conflict.
Now, you pleaded no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Rodriguez, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Mr. Rodriguez, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere. Mr. Rodriguez, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
We have a discovery certification.
Sure.
And Mr. Rodriguez, I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit 1. State, you like to offer State's 1 in evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Boudreaux?
No, sir.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Boudreaux, you've advised and counseled Mr. Rodriguez. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
And Mr. Rodriguez, your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor. It is for 52 days with 52 days credit, and we are taxing and retiring his court costs. And the state is also dismissing 23 CCCR 1195.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, the state is offering that you serve 52 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 52 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you give them credit for the time that you've already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Rodriguez, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have Well, I'll follow the people in agreement that you've entered into with the statements. Rodriguez, you're gonna stand next to your attorney in front of our clerk and follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you can follow the bailiff. And you have a blessed day. Now, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail on this cases, you should be getting out of jail today. All right, so please stand in front of the clerk. Mr. Boudreaux.
Right down.
Are we ready on Jean Pierre? Are we ready on Mr. Pierre?
Yes, sir.
What are we doing on Mr. Pierre? Oh, can you come on up? I don't have any paperwork on.
There isn't.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay. I was like, oh, did I lose it?
oh, okay. Okay, this is cause number. This is cause number 23 CCCR 1674. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Jean Pierre or Jean Pierre. Mr. Pierre, is that your full name?
My first name is Jim.
Jean Pierre? Okay, how you doing, Mr. Pierre? I'm good, doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Pierre, you're represented in your case by your attorney Todd Takash.
Yes.
Attorney Takash is not here. However, standing in for attorney Takash is attorney Don Boudreaux. Does Mr. Boudreaux have your permission to stand in for attorney Takash? Does he have your permission?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Boudreaux, what is your announcement in Mr. Pierre's case?
Your Honor, we've been offered a plea bargain, but we're going to have to put it on the trial docket.
Okay. Okay, just our court coordinator is going to give you a trial setting. Once you get your trial setting from the court coordinator, you'll be free to go, Mr. Boudreaux, and you'll be free to go, Mr. Pierre. You're gonna get, yes.
May I, if we could have something, he lives in Florida, he lives in the state of Florida. So maybe sometime so that he'll be able to schedule it and be back here.
Okay, get with the coordinator. She'll schedule it for you.
Okay.
There's gonna be a trial, and y'all just need to schedule it. Just get with her.
Yes.
Y'all can get with her.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, you're welcome. You free to go. Once you get your reset, and you'll be free to go once you get your reset as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next. Mhm. Oh, then. Oh, where are you? Oh, here it is.
What's above? Reset.
Okay,
Page 5.
No.
next case is, next. You know what? I didn't read him. Get, Mr. Rodriguez back out. Need to read him his statute, that warning. Oh, you didn't, it was supposed to date it, the dismissal.
Oh, I was doing it so fast.
Yeah.
There you go, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay. Now, this is cause, we're back in session of cause number 23 CCCR 1194, case of style of state of Texas versus Deshaun Rodriguez, Mr. Boudreaux. Now, Mr. Rodriguez, did you give him a copy of his model
Yes, sir.
written admonition on ineligibility to possess a firearm?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez. I'm going to go over this document that is titled Model Written Ammunition on Ineligibility to Possess a Firearm or Ammunition. So in accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you or warns you of the following. Number one, you are by entry of order or judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code Section 46.013, A, firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have, as an integral part, a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, Unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, Unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, Violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse and neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protected waters. Now, Mr. Rodriguez, the written admonition that has been given to you, that's for your records. At this time, you're free to follow the Bailey, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge. I think that's all I had.
Okay, you're free to go as well, Mr. Boudreaux, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Mr. Booth,
Mr.
your reset for right behind you.
Next case is cause number M333780, case of style of state of Texas versus Anthony Smith. Mr. Smith, would you please come forward? Mr. Smith, your full name is Anthony Smith?
Anthony, where's he joining?
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Smith? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking me. Smith, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Todd LeBlanc, who is appearing via Zoom. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
Good, Judge. Thanks for asking.
Mr. LeBlanc, what is your announcement in Mr. Smith's case?
Judge, I was there earlier and I got an offer, but I need to convey it to him, so I need a little time, I guess, to get with him and tell him what the offer is.
Just hold on a minute. Okay, Mr. Smith, your case will be reset to December 8th, 2024. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Once you get your reset from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. LeBlanc, your reset will be sent to you. And you're free to go well and you have a blessed day. And before Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session and calls number M334132. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Jamie LaBeouf. Jamie LaBeouf was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's announcement docket. At about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Jamie LaBeouf at the courthouse door. Jamie LaBeouf did not answer. Jamie LaBeouf has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:11 a.m. on today's date. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Jamie LaBeouf at the courthouse door? Jamie LaBeouf's name was just called to get at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff. Jamie LaBeouf did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. LaBeouf an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
State makes the motion for bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
That motion will be granted. Jamie LaBeouf's bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest in cause number M334132. And this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket on today's date, October 27, 2023, in County Court at Law number 2, Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day.